Now 5 o'clock, I will call the meeting of the Waxahachie Independent School District Board of Trustees to order. Let the record show we have 6 trustees in attendance, and this meeting has been duly called, and notice of this meeting has been duly posted for time and manner required by law. First item on our agenda will be our invocation by Mr. Cooper, followed by our Pledge of Allegiance and the American flag by Valerie Roca Medina and Kendrick Wallace, our Waxahachie High School drum majors.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, most gracious eternal God, Father, we thank you for this opportunity to serve on tonight. Father, we thank you for WISD School District and family as a whole. Father, we pray that tonight would be nothing less, nothing short of what you have perfectly planned. Father, help us to see the things that we have missed. Help us in the areas that we have erred. And Father, we thank you again for this opportunity. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Thank God. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, next item on our agenda is our open forum. I do not believe we have anyone signed up to speak this evening, so at this time, the board will go into closed session according to section 551.001 et sec of the Texas Government Code. It is now 5:02 p.m. Okay, it is now 6:06. The board's going to reconvene back into open session. First item on our agenda will be our action item A, which will be consideration with possible action to approve the hiring of a director of fine arts. That action item is going to be removed for consideration tonight. So we're going to move to action item B, which will be consideration with possible action to hire the principal of Global High School. Ms.
Hi, good
Burkhalter.
evening, Board and Ms. McCutcheon. It's my pleasure this evening to recommend Dr. Ryan Cavazos as the principal of Global High School. Excuse me. Over the past 10 years, he served our district with distinction as an assistant principal and principal. His leadership has consistently reflected a deep commitment to academic excellence, student well-being, and staff collaboration. We're confident that his experience, integrity, and vision will greatly benefit the students and staff of Global High School. We look forward to the continued good work he will do in his new role and the positive impact he'll have on our campus community. Thank you for your consideration this evening.
Board, I'll entertain a motion to approve action item B as presented.
So moved.
A motion by Mrs. Timmerman. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Kriegel. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed say nay. Motion carries 6-0.
Just quickly, I wanted to thank Ms. McCutcheon and the board for another opportunity, and also Mr. Zant for having faith in me to do it and to just continue to move forward in this district in a leadership position. So thank you all very much.
Next item will be action item C, will be consideration with possible action to approve an order authorizing the issuance of refunding bonds, delegating authority to administration to approve the bonds, and establishing parameters for refunding. Mr. Collins.
Thanks, sir. Good evening, board and Ms. McCutcheon. Tonight we have Doug Witt with Samco Capital. He's our district's financial advisor, and he's going to give you a little presentation about a possible refunding opportunity as it relates to outstanding bonds.
Okay, good evening. It's good to be back. I think it was just about 6 months ago that you saw us, and at that time we were working on bonds that were approved by the voters for construction projects. And as we mentioned at that time, under state law, we needed to issue those bonds in the summer. And then under federal tax law, there are refunding opportunities that come about within 90 days of February of 2026. So I have a brief report here for you. So the first slide here is the authorized but unissued bonds. Again, this is after the issuance of the 2025 bonds. We're not here tonight to issue new bonds, but I just wanted to give this update and this report. And sometimes when I come to a meeting and talk about bonds, they want to know, is it bonds for construction or what are we doing? So you have $74 million and change left to be issued from the election. $42 million in Proposition A, and $32 million in Proposition B. So this is your outstanding voted bond debt service profile. Very nice profile where we have a very small growth model in those first 3 years. If you're wondering why that first bar is a little higher than the second bar, that's where we have purposeful principal early amortization and purposeful drawdown of the excess in the INS fund balance. And then we have the 3 years of growth, very modest growth, and we level out and we drop off at the end. We're here tonight to talk about the ones at the bottom, orange, blue, and red. Those are the bonds that are subject to prepayment or optional redemption or refunding. And in particular, the red bond, which was a 2016 bond, has an optional redemption call date of February of 2026. And under federal tax law, we cannot refinance that bond except within 90 days of February 2026, and hence the reason that we're here today. The optional redemption dates, again, the 13 bond, it's only $5.8 million. It's outstanding at 3 to 3.5%. We might be able to squeeze a little juice out of that, putting it into this refunding, but it won't change much, won't move the needle. But we do have the ability to surgically remove maturities from each series of bond if they provide savings to the refinancing. And so that will be what I call a game day decision when we get the market conditions on the day that we enter the market. And then we will do that kind of analysis that allows us to surgically remove the maturities that make sense. The 2015 is the second grouping of bonds. There's $68 million, $69 million there. Again, outstanding at pretty good rates, 3 to 3.75 in the 2027 to 2037 maturity. Then you get into 2038 and 45, and they're at 4%. Interesting enough, and I'll show it on the next slide, sometimes the 3.5% coupon, if it's short enough in the maturity range, can provide savings, whereas the 4% that's out longer will not provide savings. So depending on the coupon and the location of the maturity, both of those factors will determine which ones that we pull into this. If you look at the 2016 bond, which is $40 million, the real driver to this, the no-brainer approach, if you will, is the 5% coupons that are at 32, 33, and 36, 39. Those 5% are going to be what drives the savings here. There's some 4% earlier in 27 to 31 that also added the savings. When you start getting out longer in the 40, 45 range, sometimes that 4% will work, sometimes it will not. And of course, the 35 maturity at 3% will not be refinanced. But all of these are the candidates under law that are within the order that you're adopting today that says if they provide the savings under the parameters, please proceed. So this is our current market yield. So you look at 2026, 27, 28 in the left column, and you'll see that we have a slightly inverted yield curve on the very early maturities. So we start at 255, we get to 250, 248, then back to 250. And then from 29 on, it's a traditional, what we call upward sloping yield curve, which means that longer maturities have a higher yield than shorter maturities, which makes sense to most of us. If you're going to give up your money for a longer period of time, you expect more return on that money for that duration. And then if you go over to 2045 on the right column, you'll see a 4.23% yield. So again, a 4% coupon in 2045 is not going to provide any savings, so we would not refund that bond. Overall, our market conditions are slightly above average. It's not like these refundings today are taking place because we've had a big dip in the market. We have had some reduction in interest rates here in the past couple of months, but this is really driven by that tax law timing of the fall of 2025 for February of 2026. So you're in the company of many, many districts in the state who have 2/15 or February 15, 2026 call dates. So that's, and the other thing that drives this is a bond that was issued in 2016 is now 9 to 10 years older, which means it's 9 to 10 years shorter. So if you just go 10 years up, let's take 2035 at 306, 2025 is not on there, but let's call it a 255. You see that the shorter it gets, the better the interest rate. So we're refunding much shorter bonds than we originally issued in 2016. So it's driven by a shorter bond getting the savings from what would have been a longer bond 10 years ago, okay? So the current refunding analysis, and it's a snapshot, we're looking at a portion of the 2015 bonds, a portion of the 2016 bonds. In our early analysis, it's about 21 million. If we took current market conditions rather than in red where it says conservative market rates, we can get to more bonds and we can provide more savings than this analysis. This is intended to be conservative for you. But again, we'll be targeting maturities in the 15 and the 16 bonds. We'll do it if it provides savings. We'll do it in the window that's allowed by law. And if rates turn around and go up and you read in the news that interest rates have spiked, then we're just going to be on the sidelines until they come back down. At the bottom of the analysis, this is, again, we're trying to squeeze juice out of existing bonds. These are not real big high coupons and big amounts of bonds that are costing you a ton of interest. These are smaller bonds, smaller coupon rates. We're talking about $1.4 million in savings. There's a statistic at the bottom that says 4% present value savings as a percent of the refunded bonds. This is what we get as a statistical analysis of how much bang for the buck that we're getting. If I'm getting $1.4 million in savings and I'm refunding $200 million worth of bonds, it doesn't make sense. If I'm getting $1.4 million in savings off of $20 million worth of bonds, it definitely reaches the rule of thumb of 3%. This is a 4% situation. In the order that you're adopting, it's a minimum of 3%. We expect to beat that rule of thumb that's been in the industry since I've been in it for 30 plus years. So minimum present value savings doesn't mean a whole lot to anyone. My dad was the superintendent of schools. He says, I don't know what you're talking about. How much money am I saving? That's the $1.4 million type of number that we're talking about over a period of years. But the bang for the buck number that is definitely above the industry-wide standard of 3% here in Texas. And then lastly, the schedule of events. We started talking about this September 25th. Again on October 1st, including some debt management and bond model updates. Then today, we're asking for your board action to delegate authority to the administration to conduct this refunding if we can meet the parameters that are outlined in the order. We're on schedule. We're moving forward. You'll see there the week of December 1st is the first week that we will have all disclosures to the investors so that we can enter the market on December 1st. We will make a judgment call on that day or that week. It could be later than that. We can go as late as January 15th, for example, and still close on February 15th, the redemption date of the bond. So that's a look at our timing. I will be happy to answer any questions. This is basic blocking and tackling. Doesn't move the needle, but it is being good stewards of taxpayers' money by capturing savings when we can and where we can.
Any questions for Mr. Witt? Okay, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve an order authorizing the issuance of refunding bonds, delegating authority to the administration to approve the bonds and establishing parameters for the refunding. Motion by Mr. Schofield.
Second.
Second by Mr. Pitts. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Say nay. Motion carries 6-0. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and our last action item will be consideration with possible action to approve the Coleman Junior High expansion project as complete and authorize the release of retainage. Mr. Calton.
Thanks, sir. Board, you'll remember back that this was a real fun, crazy summer where we had a lot of projects going on. And you'll remember that Coleman Junior High actually had 2 projects going on at the same time. One of those was the building expansion and renovation as we were adding to that building to make it suitable to hold 1,200 students. And then that second project that we did through a change order a little bit later was to add that athletic track and field behind the Coleman property. So tonight, coming to you to ask that you consider and accept the building project only, not the track and field, but the building project only as complete. We are in it. We are having school in it. The last little bit of that project was the delivery and installation of some athletics lockers. Those have been installed, and staff have reviewed those. We believe that those have been done in a manner that we are comfortable with, so we are asking for your approval tonight to accept the project as complete and to authorize the release of retainage on the building part of the Coleman project only.
Anything for Mr. Calden? Okay. I need a motion to approve action item D as presented.
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Kriegel,
Second.
second by Mrs. Timmerman. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Motion carries 6-0. Thank you very much. Moving on to our next item will be our public hearing. This time, we're going to conduct a public hearing reviewing the annual financial integrity rating system of Texas, also known as first rating as published by TEA. So tonight, we will be holding a public hearing regarding the 2024-2025 first rating for WISD. Following the presentation, we will invite the public to approach the podium to provide input on the subject at hand. The public hearing will begin with a presentation by Chief Financial Officer Ryan Calden.
Thank you, sir. All right, as stated, we're doing a public hearing on our first rating. FIRST is an acronym of the Financial Integrity Rating System of Texas. It's codified in the administrative code. That's the boring part. There were 21 indicators this year. One of those indicators was not evaluated, so really 20 indicators. And then the ranking is superior. You have to earn 90 of a possible 100 points for a superior rating, 80 points for above standard, 60 points to meet standard, and then substandard achievement is anything below 60 points. We'll remind you, board, this is delayed. This is off of the audit data that was submitted from the 23-24 fiscal year, so it is a little bit delayed, but this is our rating for the year. Some statewide statistics: 98% of districts passed their first rating, so they earned at least a met standard achievement. Almost 1.5 districts, 1.5% of districts, about 20 of them across the state, received that substandard achievement rating. Across the board, you'll see that the number of districts who were earning that superior rating have gone down a little bit. There were 870 last year, and there were 862 in the year that we're about to talk about that earned that superior achievement. Still about 85% of the districts in the state earning that top standard. And then the number of above standard went up. Last year was 82, this year was 87. Meet standard about the same, 50 last year, 49 this year. And then again, an increase in the number of substandard achievements. Almost 2% of districts in the state earned that substandard achievement, and that was 15 last year and 20 of them this year. Apparently, I included the same slide twice. Board, as part of the first rating, the first 5 indicators were all pass-fail. As really, did you get your audit submitted on time, and did you have significant findings? We did get it submitted on time. We did not have any findings, much less significant ones, so we did pass the first indicators. Indicator 5 is a determination of financial health by looking at net position. Essentially, is that number positive? If it is not, which is going to be a struggle for all districts, then the state does back out the OPEB requirements, the other expenditures beyond pension. They also back out capital appreciation bond interest, and then the pension liabilities. Those are all things that we don't really control. Most of those are determined outside of our parameters. So with that, we did have a positive net position when you factor out all of the other things that were in there, of about $96 million. This is on a government-wide level. We did earn the full 10 points. We also earned the full 10 points the previous year as well. We'll pick up steam here in just a hot minute. Indicator 6, fund balance. Did you have a reduction in fund balance of less than 25%? This would be over a 3-year period. We actually had a 3.5% increase in our fund balance over that 10-year or 3-year period. So we did earn a full 10 points in that category as well. And we also earned 10 points the previous year. Number of days of cash on hand. So while TEA doesn't have the explicit requirement of 90 days, and I say that because we'll see it in a couple more spots in here where we'll reference 60 days or somewhere else. our bond covenant really does hold us to that 90 days, but this is why we tell you 90 days is that minimum of fund balance on hand, is that's the expectation in indicator 7 of the first rating. Cash on hand, we have about 81.87 days of cash on hand. So that netted us 8 points. It's very similar, same result as the previous year. Our cash on hand did go down a little bit from 88 days to 80, let's call it 82 days. We'll round up. 8 points in both years, but that is one area that we are really monitoring, is making sure that we have that proper fund balance on hand to make sure that we have cash for operations. Indicator 8 is a ratio of current assets, current liabilities. We exceeded the expectation greater than 3 for the maximum number of points. Our ratio of current liabilities, current assets, current liabilities was 10.4. Last year was 8.4. A good sign of health that our current assets are growing over our current liabilities, received the full 10 points in both years. Indicator 9 is reviewing general fund revenues. Did they exceed expenditures? Now, there are a couple of caveats that get taken out of this. It is general fund revenues exceeding expenditures except category 81, which is capital outlay. If the district did not meet that, then was your cash on hand greater than 60 days? Again, this is a smaller threshold than we just had. We just talked 90 days. This indicator has a 60-day threshold. So as a district, our revenues did exceed our expenditures in 24-25 in the general fund. When I factor out function 81 for capital outlays, it is a measurement of our budget accuracy. Again, our cash on hand was greater than 60 days. We also had revenues exceed expenditures in the previous year and cash on hand greater than 60 days. So we earned 10 points out of a possible 10 in both of those years. Indicator 10, it was a new indicator in 22-23, and it has not been scored since. So we're not exactly sure what this one's going to look like and where we stand, because it hasn't been scored yet. So we skipped that one. Indicator 11, ratio of long-term liabilities, total assets. This is going to be a struggle for us as a district going forward as we continue issuing debt for new facilities. That's the funding model in Texas. Our long-term liabilities are going to continue to grow, and our total assets may not grow at that same pace. Thankfully, most of those long-term liabilities are going into a building, which are going to be part of total assets. But just one of those areas that we could struggle with just based off of how schools are funded in the state of Texas, mainly through the issuance of bonds. Overall, as a district, we did earn 10 points in 24-5 and 23-24, so not at the point yet that we're going to lose some points going forward. Indicator 12, support of future debt payments. So this is looking at how is your taxable values as a district growing as compared to your debt? Are they growing sufficient enough to support your outstanding debt? As a district, we did issue some more debt in the 24-25 school year in supporting of our bond propositions from 2023. We did earn 6 points out of a possible 10 in 24-5, and we earned 8 points the previous year, again, as a general factor of that outstanding debt. You may also remember that the homestead exemption, the increases in those homestead exemptions are now starting to take effect. And so when you start looking at that taxable values, that net taxable values, as the homestead exemption goes up, we might struggle a little bit more in this particular indicator going forward because less of those values are going to be subject to taxation. So just one key note to point out there that may be a sign of future struggle for the district on that indicator. Indicator 13, the administrative cost ratio. So looking at administrative cost, functions 21 and 41, as they compare to student instruction costs, the sum total of 11, 12, 13, and 31. So really, is the district spending money on instruction, or is the district as a whole spending money on administration and leadership? We did earn 8 of a possible 10 points. We had an 8.77% administrative cost ratio. Our standard is 8.55 for full points when you get above 10,000 students. The previous year, we were at 8.4%. So we earned full points in 23-4. We earned 8 points in 24-25. Indicator 14, student staff ratio. So this is looking at an overall decline of the student staff ratio over a 3-year period. Our student staff ratio increased 3.22%. which is less than the 15% decrease that the state used as its threshold and standard. And our enrollment also increased during that period. So we did earn the full 10 points. The previous year, an increase of the ratio of 6.75%, but we also had student increase in enrollment, so that earned the full points there. Indicator 15, a new indicator from 2020-2021. It is looking at pupil projections. So when we give the state our projections, are we hitting those numbers? We had a variance of 4%, which is less than the acceptable standard of 7. So we earned the full 5 points in this category, and it was not scored in the previous year. Indicator 16 was our audit report that we submitted to the state, close to our PEMS data that we submitted to the state. We had about $80,000 of variance, which is less than 0.1% overall. A lot of that comes from rounding. 80,000 is a large number for rounding, but overall, within the funds, our data was very clean. We did pass this one. It did not have a data standard to it, so we did not earn points for it this year. It was a pass-fail. We did pass it. Previous year, there was a standard, and there were 10 points earned. Indicator 17 was our audit report free of material weakness. It was free of material weakness, so there were no findings in the audit report in either year, so we did pass that and earn full points in the previous year. Indicator 17 was it free of material non-compliance, so as the auditors are looking at our compliance with state laws and grant documents, there were no findings of material non-compliance. We did earn full points in both years. Indicator 19, have we put our required financial postings on the website? We have in accordance with all requirements, and so we earned the full 5 points in both years. Indicator 20, property evaluation discussion. Did we have a discussion with the board within 120 days of the budget adoption? And board, you remember that in August every year when we do that last budget workshop, we talk about property value valuation. That way we can meet this indicator, so we were compliant both years. And then the last one, do we need an adjusted foundation school payment repayment schedule? We do not. We have not asked for one, which would be a identifier of potential financial hardship. We've been compliant both years with the regular foundation school payment schedule. Overall, this year we earned 96 of a possible, or last year we earned 96 of possible 100 points to earn a superior rating. This year, 92 of a possible 100 points. Again, the superior rating. We passed all 4 of our pass-fail indicators. Board, there is a copy of it at your desk that does have the management report attached to it. There are also copies that are on the desk over here if anybody would like it from the community, and it will be posted on the website. The management report really just details the amount of money that we spend on your travel and training, and so it's a required posting. We publish it every year, but that's where that's going to be. As a district, we've earned superior achievement every year since 2002 when these first ratings came into effect, except for the 2014-15 school year, which was only a pass-fail indicator. And so there was not a gradient of achievement in that year, but we did pass that year. So it is a public hearing. So, Mr. President, I turn it back over to you for public input.
At this time, are there any individuals that wish to speak concerning the 2024-2025 first rating for WISD? Going once, twice. All right, we will now close the public hearing portion of the meeting. Thank you, Mr. Calden.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, board, on the next item on our agenda is your informational items. I believe you have those reports included in your binder for you to read at a later time. We'll move on to our report section. Will be report A, which will be our superintendent's report. Ms. McCutcheon.
Okay, thank you for letting me share this with you today. I did want to just share, starting with our September 30th enrollment and ADA, and you can see our trends there. ADA is at approximately 10,500 and enrollment at approximately 1,100 and 200. Also, just want to talk a little bit about homecoming and thank all the individuals that spent countless hours putting together not only just the parade, but everything else that went into that. And so it was a huge success. You can see some pictures there of the parade and some some of the floats and our beautiful homecoming court and our king and queen. So I think that was a very successful event. Congratulations, Sean and Mr. Perry. Okay. Also just want to talk a little bit about some upcoming meetings that we're having for Creek High School, and that is to start to narrow down our mascot and the colors for the campus. The process actually began back in the fall of 2024 with a very large committee, and that included students, parents, community members, and staff. And so within the next coming weeks, we're going to be hosting 2 different meetings with a smaller group. It's going to be a more focused group of individuals that either have students who are going to be zoned to Creek, or some students that are zoning to Creek, and some staff members and community members. So it'll be about 60 individuals, and they're going to refine the color and mascot options that will then be presented to you for a final approval in December. Okay, and I think that's all I have tonight, unless you have any questions.
Thank you for Ms. McCutcheon. Okay, we're on to Report B, Informational Bond 2023 Construction Update. Mr. Mott?
Good evening, Board. Mr. McCutcheon, here to give you an update for the month of October. So as you heard earlier, Coleman Junior High is 100% complete. Everything's done in that job. We are just following up on any warranty items or anything that may come up during this time frame of this. And you did hear about the locker situation. So here's your lockers in your boys' locker room outside there in the old ag building. As everybody may know, it is the agri-science area. So you can see the lockers and the showers and all that is all fully completed there, in there now. We have the Coleman track and field. We're still waiting on charter. The good thing is there has been some progress on that, is that evidently they have, after they put the lines in, this is very weird, but they have a 16 business day waiting period for testing those lines. And then after that, then they can hook them up and then wreck the old lines. Where the 16 days comes from, I don't know that. That's just what we're told. So we're in that 16 days. I have been told that they should be completed in what they call wrecked off the poles by the 31st. I have asked them to move that up 1 week if possible. I have not heard back yet. And then we'll get Encore in immediately to remove the poles, and then we can start laying the asphalt there in that track. Here's you some pictures there. You can still see some progress still being moved forward. Working on the irrigation there to get it all in. Start to try to lay sod here real quick. The fencing is going up now, and you can see there's the actual shot put and discus rings have been formed out, and they'll start to fill those in with sand and those kind of things out there in that area. Finley Junior High is also 100% complete. Same thing there. We're working on the warranty issues on that one. Howard Junior High is 99% complete. We have one area that on the stage, on each side of the stage, there's some metal panels that go there. They came in the wrong color. They didn't match. So we had to reorder them. So they're supposed to be in this week and be put in this weekend, long as they're not using the stage. And we're trying to confirm that they will not be using the stage for any practice or anything this Saturday. And they're supposed to be able to put those up this Saturday. Waxahachie Creek. So I'm going to go over this, and then I'm going to turn it over to Stephen to show you a little video. So all the utilities are 95% complete. Now, why are they not finished? Well, we can't do a full complete until the city is finished with their drawings. For I call it the new Old Italy Road. It's actually Road B if you look on our plat, because it doesn't have a name yet. But that's what everyone's kind of relating to right now. We may know more after some decisions are made by the school as to maybe that name. We'll see. But once we get their drawings for that, they're like at 97% drawings, what I was last told 2 weeks ago. Then we can finish some drainage back where our pond meets their drainage, our retention pond meets their drainage, so we can make it all mesh together. Our civil and their civil are working together to make that work, but we can't finish that until all those are released. We do have steel going up. We have masonry going up. Most of the masonry right now is going up is all block, and we've completed two major firewalls. We're starting some over in the black box area, and then we'll move into a lot of the very tall walls for the fly area of the fine arts area and those kind of things. Those are going to take some while, so we'll start on that, and we'll start slowly soon be starting on the storm shelter there. We're still doing some meetings. We have a meeting tomorrow on some work on that, making sure we're coordinating, because there's certain ways you can punch holes in the walls and those kind of things. We have to make sure we're all following the codes to keep it a storm shelter. We still have concrete slabs paving going on. We've been, the last 3 weeks, we've had 4 pours. We're scheduled to have 4 pours this week. We're gonna have a couple of pours next week. So we're going anywhere from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. starts every day or every night. So like Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night. For the last 3 weeks so far, and we're looking at least 3 next week right now. Did want to bring up, we do have a live camera on site, so you can see the work being done. It's not real up close, but it is on the site. So we have it on the web page. It's on the WISD page under Bond 2023 under construction progress. You can see it there. Also, there is a QR code on the screen that if anybody wants to scan that, if they're watching this or something, they can scan that and it'll take them right to the live video of that. So this morning, they fly a drone whenever, usually they've been now flying about every day. So this morning I asked him when he flew this morning to do a video. So Steven's fixing to turn on a video for us, and this is as of this morning. It's a live video, it's a video of the site. The road you're seeing right now is Old Italy Road, which will be the east side of the property. It'll be the student parking lot right there. You can see the road going through, which is the back side of the building, and it separates the building from athletics you see there. Right there you see in that lower bottom corner, that's the tennis courts, softball field, football field, baseball field, with the 2 football fields there sticking out to the right there. The big, large, white area at the very top of the screen, that is our borrowed pit. We borrowed dirt from that to bring into the site, and we're putting it back as we've been needing it, as we've been removing what we call spoils and so forth, as we put pipe in the ground and sand in the ground. As we take that dirt out, we'll refill that back up. You can see one detention pond right there, and that's the one we can't finish, what they call the head wall, where it connects to the city as the new road will be being cut in. We'll make it around the site. You can see where there is water standing there in that one area. That is another detention pond in that area there. So just to the right towards 77, that detention pond. Ooh, Steve, you lost it. Oh, there it is. The detention pond in that little brown, right there next to the baseball field, that is where I'm going to say it's going to be right in this area right here, is where the future ag barn will go. So we're working on finishing those drawings to get that out for bid as well, to have it up and ready. Working with TxDOT on that area right there, you see that straightaway right there that you see. It is working on it to get it approved through TxDOT so we can start. We'll have access to Highway 77 from our property. We don't own that property, so we did get an easement from the owner for that property to have that. That'll also, we're trying to get it as fast as we can so we can start bringing in some very large steel beams that go in athletics and fine arts areas. They're very large and very heavy. We're going to try to bring them in that area instead of coming out Old Italy Road. So as you come around, you can see that loop right there. That'll be your staff parking in that area there. That's also the athletics side of the building. You'll see that eventually, we can see right there in that one kind of corner, right in that area right there. That is the actual indoor, and then back behind it will be some gyms and coming around. You'll also have the CTE wing also right in this area right here will be the CTE wing. You're gonna have another one, you can't really tell, but there's another drive right here. It's for that's for sped bus drop. It'll get the sped buses up very close to the building instead of having to stay back where we drop most of them off back by the athletics. It'll get them closer to the academic wings. So you can see the academic wings there. We've finished what we call A and B. As I say, we finished. We've done majority of the steel hanging. Now we're starting to hang, as you can see, that starting to deck what's called section A1 and A2. There's actually a firewall there, and then the area you see, the skeleton you see behind it is A3. So we're starting to work our way through the main educational side of the building. You can also see the firewall, which is between B and C. That is between administration and another part of the academic wing you see there. Get it back. Takes a little bit because it takes us out, so I'll let him. There we go. Maybe. Okay, so there's just some of the pictures if you just want to see them that you didn't get to see in the movie. You can kind of see some of what's going on. Like I said, right now we have one crane on site. They're due to have two. As soon as we start getting back in the fine arts areas, we start to get the brick up and all that, then we'll start to get the other crane in there. We're starting to see it's going. I mean, we're not slowing down any, and we're on pace just like we felt we would be. Luckily, we've had some dry time, and it looks like we're not going to have any rain just in the near future that's going to hold us up. But we're starting to get a lot of concrete on the ground, which is a big thing. So as of tonight, we will have all the parking loops, what we call the fire loop, will be complete. And so we have been given a go vertical anywhere we want in the building now by the fire marshal, which is a big ordeal for us, because you're not stuck in one area. We'll be able to go vertical anywhere. So that's when we'll start to be able to go vertical in 2 areas here very soon. Any questions on that building? Prop C, so Northside Elementary, we're in the progress of finishing, putting actually 2 new playgrounds, canopy and turf in there. Dunaway, we have finished. They did 1 new playground. We did both new canopies and turf their whole area. It is completed. Northside and Turner, pre-K Little Chiefs, we're looking to do HVAC replacement in those. It's to go to the board later tonight. And then the Dunaway, Shackelford, and Turner pre-K, those are the ones we talked about a while back about having electrical panel issues. They have some old, what we call Federal Pacific, which you're not supposed to have in your buildings anymore. So we're getting those quoted to be replaced for this summer. So I'm hoping to bring that in the November board meeting so we can get it done this summer, all those. So when we do that, those buildings will be shut down for about 6 weeks. There will be no power in those buildings at all, 0. Because it will literally coming back, we're going all the way back to the very main where the power comes in, and we're taking that main box out, which you call here switch gear. We're taking it totally out and all the panels out and putting all brand new. So we have to literally start at the front and come all the way back. And so it's a big ordeal, but it's a 6 to 8 week process that we'll be doing in the summertime. So here's you a little bit of pictures of the Dunaway playgrounds. It does look a lot different, and I was out there this afternoon taking these pictures, and it is an exciting time on there. Those kids could not wait. Every time I was out there looking at it, they go, "Can we get on yet? Can we get on yet?" And I mean, the minute they could, they were on there. And so it's very neat. And then here's Northside. You can see it's coming along. I was talking to them today. We're hoping Friday or Saturday to be finished. They think they should be finished. There's a possible chance they have to go to Monday. I said, I'd really like you to finish so we open next week. They get a full week on it next week. So that's what they're pushing to do. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Mott. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, report C, we have bilingual ESL yearly update.
All right, good evening, board and Ms. McCutcheon. Tonight, Brandy Morris, our Director of Curriculum and Instruction, is going to go over our bilingual ESL yearly program update. She is now overseeing bilingual ESL, so I'm excited for her to be able to share this with you tonight.
Hello, board. Thank you for your time and your service to our district. All right, so this is our bilingual and ESL team. These are the wonderful ladies who make all of the magic happen with the success of this program. Super grateful for the hard work that they put in. Title III of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act is a federal grant program that provides funding to states and local education agencies to help our English learners attain English proficiency and meet the challenging academic standards. The program's goals are to ensure that our EL students become proficient in English and achieve those high academic success in all subject areas alongside their native English-speaking peers. And so to meet those Title III requirements, we put on a variety of programs, including parent outreach and trainings, our family literacy services and family outreach and trainings, community participation programs, and we offer programs to help our emergent bilingual students achieve success. We do that through a variety of means in the district. Our dual language art night, we collaborate with neighboring districts for family community engagement fair. We put on a dual language camp. There's a newcomer camp for our elementary students, and Findlay Junior High puts on a cultural night that we're a part of. We also purchase programs, resources, and training for dual language and ESL programs. Our emergent bilingual population trends, as you can see, as the total WISD population has increased over the years, our emergent bilingual population has increased as well. Not quite at the same rate. There's just a little bit of a dip, but it is growing. Our emergent bilingual breakdown for this year is that we have 1,190 emergent bilingual students. Of those 1,190, 635 are bilingual or dual language, and then 555 are served in our English as a second language program. We have 153 opt-ins for our dual language program this year. That is up from 134 from last year, so we've seen some growth there. And then we have approximately 110 denials this year. Our dual language growth. So our 25-26 numbers, you can see 6th grade we have 52 students, 7th grade 47 participating, and 8th grade 44 participating. All of those grade levels are up from last year's numbers as well. And then you can see the history of our 5th grade dual language students that earn high school Spanish 1 credit. So over the past few years, we went from 14 students earning that credit to 16, and to last year, 22 students. That's amazing. And then this year, in collaboration with our advanced academics team, our 8th grade dual language students are going to be eligible to take the AP Spanish 4 exam at the end of the year. TELPAS glows and grows. So Ray Elementary and Shackleford Elementary had the highest TELPAS scores across the district. They showed 77% progress, which is great news. And then in general, our 5th grade students across the district performed higher than any other grade level, with 72% of our students showing progress. Our growing areas, we need to show a little bit more progress at Waxahachie High School. It's an area of growth. We had 36% of our high school students show progress on TELPAS. And then we had a significant difference in progress from our 6th grade students compared to our 7th and 8th grade students. And so we will track that this year to see if we can catch up on some of that growth, close some of those gaps. So to be in compliance, our emergent bilingual students have to be in an RLA, an English classroom, with an ESL certified teacher. The state allows very few exceptions around this. And so we conducted an internal review of all of our emergent bilingual students and their RLA teachers. And we currently have about 37 of those teachers serving our emergent bilingual students, and those teachers don't have ESL certification yet for a variety of reasons. And so we are working on collaborating with finance and HR on a waiver plan that will be submitted to the state this year. We want that plan to make sure that we are being super thoughtful about how we're going to move forward in the future so that we can circumvent issues, new state certification requirements, and the teacher shortage across the state has made this a little bit challenging at times, but we will overcome. Most of our teachers that will be on this waiver are either newly certified or they're non-certified teachers serving our students, and they're not eligible to get that ESL certification just yet. And so for the 25-26 school year, we'll have to take 10% of our current bilingual education allotment and use that for professional development so that we can make sure that our emergent bilingual students are getting the support that they need in the classroom to meet their linguistic needs. And along with that, we will create a temporary alternative language program so that we can meet their affective, linguistic, and cognitive needs of those students and align that as closely as possible to the required bilingual and ESL program that is currently in place. Okay, any questions?
Any questions, comments? Thank you very much. Report D will be our informational report on the Effective Advising Framework, EAF grant.
It's me. Good evening, Board and Ms. McCutcheon. Thank you for allowing me to update you on our Effective Advising Framework. I want to give you all a quick overview of the I think I went too far. Okay. EAF Advising Framework prioritizes 5 different levers that we have to report each year to TEA. This is a grant program through the Texas Education Agency. It helps our districts build or improve their systems for individual student planning using the EAF model. EAF is part of a broader effort to make school counseling more strategic, equipping all of our students with long-term academic, career, personal, and social planning support. So individual planning is key when we're working with our students. We follow the EAF framework, and we follow these 5 levers that we have to report on each year. Here we go. During the 24-25 school year, the Effective Advising Steering Committee completed a program design process to improve our district's individual student planning system. The steering committee includes WISD program directors, CTE representatives, counselors, special populations team members, and college and career advisors. So our outcomes, I'm very pleased to talk to you about our outcomes for 24-25. WISD, we earned exemplary ratings on all of our state quarterly reports to TEA. WHS and Global High School hosted TSI Blitz Days. During this, student area teachers, subject areas worked with our selected students who were only a few points away from reaching their passing score on their TSI College Readiness Assessment. Students received targeted instruction in math, reading, or writing for 2.5 hours. They ate lunch, and then they went straight and completed the TSI. And you will see that we had a 55% passing rate for our students who participated in the Blitz Day. We also combined efforts between Global High School and WHS to offer FAFSA presentations. We did parent workshops. Navarro came in, Tyler Junior College came in. They provided a time for parents to come and work on the FAFSA. We also provided bilingual support for our families who needed that as well. We expanded our state-mandated 4-year graduation plan to a 7-year graduation plan. This allowed our junior high students and their parents to visually see the full trajectory of what their high school planning will look like starting in junior high. It gives them a clear picture of what they'll take all the way until they graduate. And for several years, we have maintained and aligned our process for our 5th to 6th graders as they move into junior high. We allowed them to come to the junior high, meet their teachers, kind of see what that was going to look like. And so we were able to put that in place. We also, at those nights, had how to plan and what to expect for junior high handbooks that we gave all of our students. And then also on our 8th to 9th grade, Guide to the Tribe, you're probably all familiar with that. We gave handbooks, provided handbooks for our students and parents to plan for their high school career. And then finally, the EAF committee approved the purchase of CTE preparation materials for our automotive and our cosmetology programs. The materials helped our teachers prepare our students for their industry-based certification. And as a result, our passing rates increased. Automotive technology, they went from 26% to 48% passing rates. And in cosmetology, we saw a significant increase. The written exam, they went from 56% passing to 86% passing. All right, and finally, I'm gonna just give you the updates of what the committee has decided will be our priorities for 25-26. We will continue to implement the programs that we already had in place. So we will continue purchasing the materials for our CTE, our IBC completions. We'll continue with those. We're also having more of our TSI Blitz Days. We're going to offer them in the fall and in the spring this year, since we had such a great result from those. So we're also going to expand this year down into junior high and elementary so that we can align all of our planning. As I said earlier, it starts when they're young and teaching them what is going to happen in junior high and high school. So in grades 6 through 8, we're going to offer a career fair at all 3 of our junior high campuses. We currently have one of our junior high campuses who hosts a college fair. We're going to structure our other 2 junior highs, and they will model after that, so we'll have the career fair at all 3 of our junior highs this year. We aligned our 5th to 6th grade nights. We're going to expand on that a little bit. We're going to use a rubric that's going to allow us to make sure that the same things are happening. I went to each of the 3 junior high nights, and they look a little different. We want to make sure our parents know what's happening, and it's the same at each of our junior highs. In 5th grade, our counselors are going to focus on teaching conflict resolution to promote positive communication and problem solving for our 5th graders prior to entering junior high, so that we can kind of cut down on some of those behaviors and that we're dealing with those in elementary, and that way they take those skills into junior high. And then finally, we're going to use our discovery classes at junior high to teach exploration of the cost of colleges, take career interest inventories, and learn how to plan for their respective careers and explore scholarship opportunities even in the 8th grade. They'll start looking at those. And that is it for me. Any questions?
Question for Ms. Robinson? Thank you very much. Our last report will be our report on early literacy math, early literacy reading, and CCMR board goals as requested by, as required by HB 3.
Sorry. Hello
Go ahead.
again, board. So tonight, Mr. Harrison and I will be presenting the updated House Bill 3 goals from 2019 regarding early literacy, early math, and CCMR. So goals were presented to you in 2024 by Dr. Benneker. So this is an update to those goals, as well as the addition of progress measures that the state guidelines requests that we have in place to help reach our main goals. And so we're going to start tonight with our early literacy goals, which are set to show success in early literacy growth through 3rd grade STAR summative assessment. And so for our outcome goal on early literacy, the goal is set that by August of 2028, 53% of students in 3rd grade reading will be at MEETS level or higher. And so while this is a smaller percentage, just a small percentage underneath the state goal, which is usually set at 60%, we feel that it is a realistic measurement that we can attain by August of 2028. Currently, we're sitting at 45% at MEETS or higher for our STAR scores in 3rd grade. And so as you can see on those yearly actual scores, we will have a bit of an increase we're going to have to make to get that 49% goal for next year, but I feel pretty secure that we can make that jump. And so the closing the gaps goals there that you see are set to steadily increase by approximately 2 to 3 percentage points each year. Our early literacy progress measures are part of the state guidelines for House Bill 3 goals. We're adding the progress measures for kinder through 3rd grade to align with NWEA MAP growth for the following areas. So for kindergarten, students will meet or exceed the projected growth measures by 46% by August of 2028. And on these progress measures here, the actual score that you see is in blue, while the target is in black for the upcoming years. 1st grade students will meet or exceed the projected growth measures by 48%. And then on this slide, you can see that our early literacy progress measures for 2nd grade is expected to reach 66%, and for 3rd grade, we are expecting them to reach 53% by August of 2028. So next, we're going to talk about our early math goals. So we're expecting 50% of our third grade students to reach meets or higher on STAR by August of 2028. We're currently at 39%, which gives us a pretty big jump to make to our target of 45% by the end of this school year. But again, I feel pretty secure that we can make that jump with some of the adjustments that we've put into place in relation to our curriculum and our resources that teachers are using. So just like with early literacy, the Closing the Gap goals are set to steadily increase by approximately 2% points each year. And so here are progress measures for math, which are also set using those NWEA MAP projected growth measures. By August of 2028, kindergarten will meet or exceed by 48%, first grade by 63%, and then second grade will meet or exceed by 64%, with third grade at 68%. And so now I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Harrison, who will be addressing our CCMR goals.
All right. Good evening. All right, CCMR goals. So for our CCMR board outcome, we are aiming to increase the percentage of graduates meeting college, career, and military readiness, or CCMR criteria, from 74% in 23-24 to 100% by 27-28. Annual targets show steady growth, reaching 100% by the final year. Our 2023-24 number is in blue because it is an actual score that we have received. CCMR is a lagging indicator, so we will not receive data for this goal until next year for 24-25 and beyond. That's why the X's are the yearly actual score boxes. For closing the gaps, targets all student groups, including African American, Hispanic, white, special education, and economically disadvantaged students. These are set to progressively increase with the goal of 100% of all groups meeting CCMR criteria by 2028. This demonstrates the district's commitment to both overall success and equity across all student populations. Okay, so for our progress measures for CCMR, our first progress measure is industry-based certification. Waxahachie ISD aims to increase the percentage of graduates earning an industry-based certification, which is a credential that validates career skills, from 38% in 23-24 to 50% by 27-28, with steady growth planned for all student groups. Progress measure 2, which is TSI A2, which is our test that ensures students are prepared for college-level coursework. The district seeks to raise the percentage of graduates meeting TSI A2 standards in both ELA reading and math from 40% to 57% by 27-28. Progress measure 3, which is advanced placement, or AP, Waxahachie ISD aims to increase the percentage of graduates earning a 3, 4, or 5 on an AP exam, which demonstrates college-level mastery from 8% in 23-24 to 12% by 27-28. This effort will be in collaboration with Melissa Abity in Advanced Academics. And then finally, progress measure 4, which is dual credit. We seek to raise the percentage of graduates completing dual credit courses, which is earning college credit in high school, from 29% to 37% by 27-28. Any questions?
Any questions for us?
I guess the only question that I have is the state expectations. Can we find those by looking at the state report?
Yes, ma'am. Those are listed on the txschools.gov website,
Right.
And there is a list of what the state expectations are. They are separated out based on what there is a interim measurement, an interim target, and then a long-term target.
Yes,
and so those are found on that website.
Okay, I want to be sure. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question that goes back to Ms. Robinson's report. So the significant increase in the, was it certifications based on those materials she bought in auto tech and cosmetology, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that has a direct reflection of our CCMR, right?
Yes, sir, it does.
How do we go about doing those in our other avenues other than just cosmetology and auto tech?
That'll be something that me and Ms. Robinson will have to look into.
So the committee decides what we're going to be focused on. Last year, the materials
shows were automotive technology and cosmetology. Ms. Bays, our coordinator, really has a lot of input. She's on the committee as well.
Yes, sir.
And so we kind of talk about what are the focus areas. So look, they all on the CCMR plans, all of this. So we work, as he's talking, we work hand in hand on this EAF grant to help supply those.
Well, I mean, it looked like it was a resounding success. So I would think that we would try to expand that in other, okay. All right, that's all I have. Okay. Anyone else? Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
All right, board, moving to our next agenda item will be our consent agenda. We have items A through P up for consideration.
I move that we approve consent agenda items A through P.
Motion by Mr. Pitts. A second by Mr. Schofield. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Motion carries 6-0. And our last item will be a motion to adjourn. Motion by Ms. Kriegel.
Second.
Second by Ms. Timmerman. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Motion carries 6-0. Thank you guys very much.